The Seizure Simulator is an example of the types of simulations that we'll be able to conduct at CAMLS. This simulator is being piloted around the country with groups of combat medics from across the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Seizure is a full-body mannequin, same weight as an adult human, which is designed to simulate several critical injuries on the battlefield. The first is exsanguinating hemorrhage, and that's hemorrhage from traumatic amputations or mangled extremities, extremities that when hit with an explosive are stripped of muscle and fragments of bone. The second thing that it demonstrates nicely is what's called tension pneumothorax. And a tension pneumothorax is air in the chest cavity outside of the lung that builds up pressure and restricts the ability of blood to get back to the heart. And if blood can't get back to the heart, blood can't be pumped out of the heart, needless to say, you lose blood pressure. This simulator replicates both of these scenarios to a very high degree. This is a new technology, and the principal elements that differentiate it from anything else going on now are, one, it's truly life-size and life-weight, so that combat medics actually have something that simulates an injured soldier in the battlefield, somebody they have to move. There's a physical nature to care that's important to simulate, and so this Seizure Simulator does that. Two, it has immediate feedback, and what I mean by that is that when a combat medic applies a tourniquet to stop the bleeding on an extremity that's had a traumatic amputation, there are pressure sensors within the thigh that feed back to the tablet that manages the particular scenario, and as a result, the simulator regains consciousness. The simulator, because the bleeding has been stopped appropriately, now wakes up. Same thing can be said for decompression of the chest successfully with a needle. That is the appropriate therapy, needle decompression for tension pneumothorax. When that happens, the simulator wakes up and says, I can breathe more easily now. That is atypical. Most of the time when interventions are made on a simulator, somebody managing the scenario, a monitor, a facilitator, has to push a button, and then the simulator says something, or then the bleeding stops. This center, the Center for Advanced Medical Learning and Simulation, is about transforming how we deliver health care. How we deliver health care in hospitals, in clinics, on the battlefield. We believe that we can transform health care by transforming how we educate and train those who provide health care. We can actually increase the fidelity of the types of training simulations that occur. We can measure those outcomes. We can define competence, proficiency, and expert performance. That has never been done.
One of the key things that most residents learn to do, or have to do while they're in the residency, is putting in central lines. What a central line is a very large IV that we put into one of the main veins that lead to the heart. This allows us to give medications that need to go throughout the body, or sometimes if we have to feed people through their veins, we have to do that through these large IVs. This is a procedure that's done commonly, but it's also has risks with it, some of which can be pretty severe. As you can imagine, having a vein that goes to the heart is near the lungs. What we've looked at is trying to develop a training program to allow residents to practice doing this on a model as opposed to learning to do it on humans. In the past, it's been that, you watch a couple, one of the upper level residents or your head surgeon or one of the attending physicians tells you what they're doing, how they're going to do it, and then they watch you do it through a couple before they let you go on your own. One of the problems with this is you really don't know what it feels like to do that until you do the first stick, as we would say. And nobody really wants to be the patient that's the first stick, obviously. So what we've done is we've developed a training program here to teach residents the different steps of the procedure. And then we have a new model here with the Sindaver model, which is more lifelike or realistic. One of the words we use is fidelity, and it's what we call a high fidelity model.